Hmm.
And we should do it as a duty. I
Hmm.
mean, though we are not qualified, but we should do it as a duty because we are instructed.
Yes. So that is the mood. And what
Hmm.
should be the content of the speech and the mission? That is the next shloka, purport of Srila Prabhupada. What it speaks about?
Glorification of Lord.
What should be the Sankirtan means there is a content of our speech, and if it is Harikatha, and
Huh.
the mood, underlying the mood. So there is instructed and unqualification. That is the mood. What is the
Hmm.
content? That is the next verse. Next verse, purport especially of Srila Prabhupada.
That is
Following Guru Sadhu Shastra. Very good.
Shastra. Guru Sadhu Shastra. Okay.
And understanding Bhagavad Gita
And
as it is
Bhagavati.
understood
Hmm.
by disciplic succession,
Huh.
and
Yes.
from great sages and learned devotees. So
Okay.
he repeats actually from the parampara. So that should be the content. So that is the
Hmm.
simple process and the easiest method by which one can glorify Lord, like that.
Yes.
So yes, Mataji, this is another important part which we discussed. Surely. Thank you. So this is about ahankar which I was talking about, right? So see, this is of ego. So humility means becoming free from influence of false ego. That's what is reference, and this I already explained to you. So Prabhupada uses this terminology in third canto. Pressure of false ego, hunger born of false ego. So these are cannot be satisfied by providing. I possess, so you cannot keep on possessing more and can never be satisfied. By doership, how much ever you do, you want to do more. And knowing there is no end to the knowledge about anything of this way. So it can never be satisfied. And that pressure will be there always. So we should be knowing that I cannot possess anything, neither I can do anything, neither I can know anything. It's all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. That's all. Not that 99% glory is to them and 1% is for me. No, we don't have anything which we can do on our own. So we have to be clear about. We should not take what you can say self-esteem in pleasure of possessions or power of people I have or potency of panditya I have. So this is all ahankaram. So yes, so let us go ahead now. So I think we covered around 10th verse is also over, right? So
Yes.
11th verse onwards,
11 we are starting.
we'll complete the chapter today. Yeah. So 11th verse. So this I didn't show you, right? So no one could understand what policy King Pruthu was following to make everything successful. Indeed, King Pruthu's path of diplomacy was very grave. Hmm. So his success was made possible because he was reservoir of all good qualities. So see, as an institution which is needed in age of Kali to spread the movement. So along with institution comes rules, regulations, policies. But what is important than the rules, regulations, and policies, or particularly policy here, is the person who is administering the policy, right? So the laws are made, but the importance is the person who administers the law. Hmm. So that is the point which is written here. You can see policy versus person. So otherwise it will, you have heard this earlier, it was Christianity, then it become Churchianity. Yeah, Hare Krishna. So Churchianity, just a second. So what is churchianity? Churchianity means it was just set of rules and regulations, that's all. And the spirit behind that was gone, and the like Siddhanta and Sadachar, right? Or otherwise rather only the like culture and the Siddhanta. So only culture remained, Siddhanta is gone. Right? So that's what rituals. So that's what I'm mentioning here. Bureaucracy versus binding relationships. So bureaucracy is very painful. Bureaucracy, you understand, just set of some rules and some policies which you are applied without any personalism in them. So the right thing is there are nice proper relationships of respect. So rules versus respectful dealings, not just enforcing rules, because this enforcing or mechanically applying policies without knowing the purpose of it, it is not going to purify. The punishments which will be given, people will circumvent the punishments or they will circumvent the rules and regulations to avoid the punishment. So it is not going to lead to purification, purifying punishment. So punishment has to be there, but how it is administered, that is the personality. So it's person who administrates the policies that brings personalism. Otherwise, it's very, very risky. So here, Prithu Maharaj was like that. His policies cannot be understood, but he was accepted as a pure charactered king. So that's the important thing whenever some administration is there. And here Prabhupada said about the main point is that everyone should be trained in the system of Varnashram Dharma. So actually this main point is really important in current scenario. That there should be training, proper training according to Varnashram. So many places Prabhupada is saying in this particular section of Srimad Bhagavatam. And all the time he speaks in his lectures, right? The society must be divided into 4 Varnas. Otherwise, the society will be confused and individual will not be successful. Like that Prabhupada writes. So it's his desire, 50%. That's what he's telling. And here in this context, what is told is about money dealing. So why is telling? So Varna means what? Varna means occupation. Occupations means how you maintain your livelihood. So money is very important in that. So when we institute this Varna and Ashrama, then the money is spent only for good causes and nothing else. So this is the point actually. Right now, we are earning a lot of money and we are spending a lot of money. But how it is spent? Is it all spended properly or earned properly with ethics, morality, and dharma? We have to ask ourselves. And are we utilizing it? Are we expending it properly? Means if we are giving to someone, so who is that person? If we are, that's why the society where all are having same goal as Krishna consciousness, the money rotates in the society only. That's what Prabhupada desire was. Money rotates in society means what? Different devotees are dependent on each other. And they are expert in their occupation, whatever varna they have. So utility of money has a very deep connection with occupation. And that occupation or varna has to be according to the swabhava of the person. That's what Prabhupada is saying. So 11th verse. Durasado durvishaha asannopi viduravat naivabhibhavatam shakyo venaranyuthito nalaha. Yeah, maybe someone who has not read yesterday can read. I think all of you read.
Right. Of the
You can read. Yeah, Mataji can read.
King Prithu was born of the dead body of King Vena, as fire is produced from arany wood. Thus, King Prithvi will always remain just like fire, and his enemies will not be able to approach him. Indeed, he will be unbearable to his enemies, for although staying very near him, they will never be able to approach him, but will have to remain as if far away. No one will be able to overcome the strength of King Prithvi.
Yeah, so he is compared to Agni or fire. And he was born also after churning, right? Churning the body. So that's what is told here. And Vena Arani Uttito Analaha. And Durasado is very unapproachable. Means what? The thieves and rogues will fear to approach him. Or even if they approach, they will surrender. But Parikshit was also that like that ruling. So the dharmic people would fear that person. Durvisaha. And if they come near, they cannot come near. And if they come near, they cannot bear his presence. So that is what is. And asannaha api viduravat. So that is, although staying very near him, they will not be able to approach him, but will have to remain far away. So they will not affect him. He is not near the evil enemies, and when close, he is intolerable to them. It's like fire, right? So fire has to be handled very carefully. So even Guru and deity and Vaishnava and these are all are even for opposite sex. One has to have proper distance. Otherwise it burns, right? By offense to the deity, offense to Guru, offense to Vaishnava, etc. So it's intolerable. Then it is too close. The best of enemies cannot tolerate it. So that's what Prabhupada is telling. So he is compared with Agni. So he was compared with ocean or Varuna earlier. Then he was compared with Indra, right? Indravat. Or he was compared with sun for collecting taxes, Indra for giving the rains. So like that. And now he is compared. Next verse is compared with Vayu. Text 12. अंतर्बहिश्च भूतानां पश्चन् कर्माणि चारणैः उदासीन इवाध्यक्षो वायुरात्मेव देहिनाम्. Yes, please continue.
King Prithvi will be able to see all the internal and external activities of every one of his citizens. Still, no one will be able to know his system of espionage, and he himself will remain neutral regarding all matters of glorification or vilification paid to him. He will be exactly like air, the life force within the body, which is exhibited internally and externally, but is always neutral to all affairs.
Yeah. So espionage means the act of practice of spying or using the spies. So you see Lord Ram and even Krishna, so there were spies actually. The spies were used for purpose of looking into who is doing what, who is talking what. Right? So he had that kind of charanai. Charanai are like that. Such people you can see here. Seeing behavior and spice, both charanai. He will be unattached. So he is attached to his ministers because he had a good relationship. But he will behave as if he is unattached to them. But actually he is attached to them because they are trustworthy. They have good character, etc. So, but he will appear to them as unattached. And he is like a Vayu. So Vayu, so Ved Vyas also glorifies Srila Narad Muni also with the same, analogy. If you see his prayers, this is 1.5.4 maybe. No, ahead, little ahead. Very beautiful verse. Yeah. Here you can see. Like Vayu, so Narada is glorified by Vedas. Tamparyatan narka ivalo trivatloki antascharo vayura atmasakshi परावरे ब्रह्मणि तद्धर्मतो व्रतैः स्नातस्य मे न्यूनमलं विचक्षु. Snatasya me nyunamalam vichaksu. Please identify my problem. I have been intending properly. I was engaged in all tapasya and austerities and vratas and dharma. Still I am not satisfied. Why you can do that, Narad Muni? Because you are like sun. So externally you are like sun, which will enlighten everything. And internally you are like Vayu. Antascharo Vayur Atma Sakshi. So you can know the activities of my subtle body also. So that's why you can decipher what is my problem. So you wander like the sun throughout the three worlds, seeing everything, and wander like the life air throughout the body as the witness of everyone's intelligence. So that's what same thing. Prithu Maharaj is glorified here to be like Vayu. So because Vayu can enter within also and can know others' intentions and purposes. So he was like that. So after sending spies, so Sutratma is like that. Sutre Mani Ganai. So he will be like that. So Udasin meaning is that. So he was attached to his good ministers. However, he dealt in such a way that they will feel that he is completely detached from us. So that is actually Lakshmi ji also says that in Swayamvar very beautifully. That so she comes out of Samudra Manthan and she is carrying a beautiful garland. And she is evaluating everyone. So she is telling good qualities, but he has a problem. Good qualities, but problem. And here Lord Mukunda is there. He has all good qualities, but one problem is he has no attachment for me. So still, I will marry him because anyone who takes shelter of him, he will care. So that's how she puts the garland. So that is the great detachment of Lord Vishnu. However, same Lord Vishnu, when in home in Vrindavan, he is completely dependent on Srimati Radharani. So that's how Srimati Radharani is the highest. So in Vrindavan, in Vrindavan, Lord Vishnu is highest. But in Vrindavan, Leela, so Radharani is highest. But if you say Tattva, then Lord Vishnu is highest than Lakshmi. Lord Vishnu is more beautiful than Lakshmi in Vaikuntha. You will see that in 3.15. Whereas in Vrindavan, who is more beautiful? Srimati Radharani. Because Krishna is attracted to Srimati Radharani. That is Leela. So that way, here that unattachment is told. So that is text 13. So text 13 is about his equanimity in his administration of punishments. Like Dharmaraj. Nadandyam dandayattesha sutamad atmadvishamapi dandayatyatmajapi dandam dharmapathe stitaha. Yeah, please read.
He always remains on the path of piety. He will be neutral to both his son and the son of his enemy. If the son of his enemy is not punishable, he will not punish him. But if his own son is punishable, he will immediately punish him.
Yeah, so he is not going by this, what we say is, no, blood relations, the rules change, no? So that story, that Brahmana who was told by one person that someone killed cat. So what he has to do? So he said that that person has to give the golden cat to a Brahmana. That is the prayaschitta of killing the cat. And then that person says, actually that cat is killed by your son only. Okay, he says, oh, that is the case now. Okay, then the rule is different actually for him. He doesn't have to give the golden cat. So that kind of disposition is all pervading right now, within and without, because of the partiality. So he was not like that partial. So this is a very deep rooted thing which can be removed only by connection with the Supreme Lord and Guru, who is completely impartial, who is lover of God. That person can be impartial. An impartial person can only be, completely pure. Otherwise, he is dependent. Right? So here, if his own son commits mistake, he will punish him. And even if the son of someone who is not following dharma, but he is following dharma, he will not punish him. So it is not based on the connection and whose son it is. It's about if he has done adharma, he will punish him also. So there is story of this. What is that? Which truthful king? What is his name? That is Raja Harishchandra story. Right? His own son died and all. So that is what is his impartiality. The characteristics of an impartial ruler. So actually, when Hiranyakashipu heard about Lord Vishnu killing Hiranyaksha, he was also quoting, so he knew. Of course, he was ignorantly saying in the Leela that Lord Vishnu was actually impartial earlier, but some demigods gave him some, what you can say, larch, bribery. So now he has become partial, and because of that partiality, he has killed my brother. So he must have reduced his power because of his partiality. So now I can kill him. So that Siddhanta, that partiality will reduce the strength. So Hiranyakashipu also knew that. But Lord was, of course, Lord was not partial, but he perceived him partial. So we have to fully understand that Lord is never partial. See, Kunti Maharani is telling this, Prahlad Maharaj is telling this. So sometimes we may use the terminology like, Lord is partial to devotees. Actually, it is not the what is meaning of that has to be clearly understood. So what Kunti Maharani says, Naveda kaschit bhagavat chikirshitam tavehamanasya nrunam vidambanam nayasya kaschit dayitosti karhichit dveshyas samastir vishamamatir nrunam. So she is saying now it may appear to everyone that Krishna was partial to Pandavas. But Pandavas underwent so many issues. But Kunti is telling very clearly, Siddhanta, that my dear Lord, you are equal. Na yasya kaschit daitosti karehichit. Dvesha. You don't hate anyone, you don't, favor anyone. But then people call you partial. Why? Because of their wrong vision. Matirnam Vishama. So they have Vaishamya, so they see Vaishamya. So we see world according to our own consciousness. The world we see is mirror of our own consciousness. So if we are thinking we are partial, so we'll see Lord also as partial. And same thing Prahlad Maharaj is also saying in his prayers. So these are all exalted devotees who people think that Lord was partial to them. They are very clearly saying but it's not the case. What is that? Naisham paravara bhavato nanusya janturyathatma janturyathatma manaso surdapi samsevaya surataro rivate prasada sevanurupa udayo na paravaratvam para avara. He is mine, he is not mine. That consciousness you don't have, my Lord. Na paravaratma. You don't have that. But you are reciprocal. According to ye yathamam prapadyate. So ye yathamam prapadyate is not partiality. So that's what is told here very clearly. So this impartiality is a natural symptom of purity. That a person is coming on spiritual platform, not bodily platform. So that's what King Prithu was like. So text 14. Text 14. अस्या प्रतिहितं चक्रं पृथोरामानसाचलात् वर्तते भगवान् अर्को यावत्तपति गोगणैः Yeah, one more you can read, Madhu.
Just as the sun god expands his shining rays up to the Arctic region without impedance, the influence of King Prithvi will cover all tracts of land up to the Arctic region and will remain undisturbed as long as he lives.
Yeah. So Chakram here refers to his chariot or his area of jurisdiction or his ruling. Hmm. So Chakra means order or his influence and his army, etc., or wheel of his chariot. So he would wander like a, here it is like a sun again. Just as sun raises from east to west. So basically entire world. Wherever sun rays can go, that same all area he was covering in his administration and his influence. So that is what is told. So Prabhupada writes that only in his purport. So Manasatara mountain is the mountain on which the sun, I think, yeah, sun's orbit is. And on that orbit, the sun is giving shine and it goes through three worlds. Okay. So basically, he was ruling everything. He was like that. Of course, he was on earth, but he was having influence everywhere. Just as no one can check the sunshine from spreading all over the universe, no one could check the influence and reign of King Prithvi, which would remain undisturbed as long as he lived. So his ruling strength is being told here. The text 15. So one thing, how he impartially punished, how he had rule everywhere. But was he dictator? Was he autocrat? No. So that verse is very beautifully telling. Ranjayishyati yallokam ayamatma vicheshtitah athamam ahura chanam rajanam manoranjana kai prajaha. Yeah, someone else can read, no? Yes, no?
Shall I read quickly?
Yeah.
This king will please everyone by his practical activities, and all of his citizens will remain very satisfied. Because of this, the citizens will take great satisfaction in accepting him as their ruling king.
Yeah. So Ranjayati. So he was pleasing to the citizens. All of them. Right? So that's what his nature was. And how his activities was pleasing, that is also will come. So the citizens were very happy to see him and they remained very satisfied. Because why? So Prabhupada writes very interesting. Please everyone by his practical activities. So he was not just a king in the no, sitting on throne and not engaged in the involved in the different lives of different people. No, he was also involved. That's why it is said practical activities. So he had spies. So whenever he will deal with different people. So all people were very happy and satisfied with him. So the citizens will take great satisfaction that yes, let you continue, Jug Jug Jio, and continue ruling over us. We are happy under your rule. So same quality of Yudhishthir Maharaj is also told in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1. So very beautiful verse. So there also it is told same thing. Apippala Dharmaraja Prajayat Ranjayan Praja. Nispruha Sarva Kamebhyo Krishna Padanu Sevaya. So this is, I'm just trying to open the verse. Okay. So meaning is that only. So because Krishna Pada Anusevaya. So he's constantly serving Lord Krishna's lotus feet while ruling citizens. And Nispruha, he didn't have any personal agendas or motives. That's why he was pleasing to the citizens. So same case here. He was also Ranjayishyati, Yallok. So here not the entire world means even demigods. So that's why Raja is one who gives Ranjayati iti Raja. One who gives, one who attracts, one who pleases. It is Raja. So that's why Prithu Maharaj is glorified. Now his further qualities. Dhiravrataha Satyasandhu Brahmanya Vriddhasevakaha Sharanyah Sarvabhutanam Manado Deenavatsalaha. Yeah, thank you.
The king will be firmly determined and always situated in truth. He will be a lover of the Brahmanical culture and will render all service to old men and give shelter to all surrendered souls. Giving respect to all, he will always be merciful to the poor and innocent.
So he's dealings with different categories of people in his kingdom and his own qualities. So Drudha Vrataha is firmly determined. Satyasandho is situated in truth or true to his promise, fixed in vows. And see, interesting, Brahmanya. So this is a very important quality of a Kshatriya, that he is completely respectful to Brahmanas. Or Prabhupada is translating, he's lover of Brahmanical culture. So actually, this is the administrator should be very nicely connected with a sage or a Brahman, a true Brahman. So lover of Brahmanical culture means Varnashram. That's the Brahmanical culture. So that's the ideal way of doing administration. So Brahmanya. Namo Brahmanya Devaya. Right? The same word is there. Vriddha Sevaka. So Vriddha has two aspects, Prabhupada writes. So one is Jnana Vriddha and one is Vayo Vriddha. So he served both of them. So Vriddha Sevaka. And Sharanya Sarva Bhutana. Those who are surrendering to him, he will give protection. And Manada and Deenavatsala. So Prabhupada Vriddha Sevaka he explains, which I already told. So King Prithu was very respectful to the Brahmanas and he protected them. So actually, Varnashram culture is very wonderful because there is complete interdependence on them, each other. Like for example, head depends on hands for protection. Head cannot do anything if some attack happens, right? In terms of attack grossly. Hands can help to protect the head. So the Kshatriyas would protect Brahmanas' bodies and they will give them facilities. And Brahmanas in turn actually guide them based on Shastra. They will tell them whatever is happening in kingdom very clearly because of their wisdom. So that's the interdependence. Text 70. Now how he was dealing in his own personal life. So his mother, his other woman, his wife, his praja, what was his disposition towards different people of, right? So this verse also spoke and now 17 also is speaking. 16, 17 is that one. Matrubhakti parastrishu patnyam patnyam ardha ivatvanah prajasu pitruvatsnigdha kinkaro brahmavadinam. Please.
The king will respect all women as if they were his own mother, and he will treat his own wife as the other half of his body. He will be just like an affectionate father to his citizens, and he will treat himself as the most obedient servant of the devotees who always preach the glories of the Lord.
Yeah. So here, this is very similar verse about what is standard of education. Prabhupada is writing that. This is the standard of education. What is that? Matruvat paradareshu. That's what is the first thing. Same thing in different words. Matru bhakti parastreshu. Paradraveshu loshtravat. Atmavat sarvabhuteshu. Ya pashyati sa panditaha. The same thing is here. He will respect every woman as his mother, except his wife. How he will treat his wife like Ardhangini. Ardhangini means all the important decisions are made with consultation and intimation, not independently. And there is an intimate relationship, right? Like Shiva and Sati. While drinking poison, Shiva called for Sati. And while he wanted to see Mohini Murti, Shiva took Sati along with him, along with his followers. And Shiva ran behind this Mohini Murti, he went everywhere. So this is happening in front of Sati actually. But neither Shiva is affected, neither Sati is affected because they are knowing the glory of the Vishnu. Right? So it's very intimate relationship. Andhangini means you share the share of. It's the most intimate relationship actually in the material world, in one sense, because the bed itself is shared, isn't it? So Ardhangini. So that's how he was dealing with great respect and intimacy. Same as Karda Muni and Devahuti. Prajashu Pitravat Snigdaha. So he was affectionate like a father. And Kinkaro Brahmavadi. So Brahmavadi, Prabhupada writes entire purport on Brahmavadi now. So these Brahmavadis are not the Brahmavadis like Mayavadis or impersonal. These Brahmavadis are devotees. Prabhupada is saying he was humble servant of the devotee. So Brahmavadi, so Brahma has three meanings: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So that Prabhupada writes. So education does not mean having academic degrees only. So education should lead to this kind of vision actually, where one is seeing other women as mother and etc. So Prabhupada is writing very clearly. This should be standard of education. Education does not mean having academic degrees. So that's what currently is happening in the outside institutes. And this of course applies to even devotional courses also. That is just not getting the Bhakti Vaibhav degree. One should execute what he has learned in his personal life. So that's how his character. So Brahmavadi already I told. So thus Brahmavadi refers to devotees. The state should always serve the devotees of Lord. And the ideal should conduct himself according to instruction of devotees. So yesterday I quoted Shivaji Maharaj. And then there are so many examples like that. Where devotees' instructions are taken to the highest, right? So that is the best administration. So why? Because he followed, he was greatly praised. He followed this principle. So text 18. Dehinam atmavat prishtha surudam nandivardhanah muktasanga prasangoyam dandapani nirasadhishu. Yeah.
The king will consider all embodied living entities as dear as his own self, and he will always be increasing the pleasures of his friends. He will intimately associate with liberated persons, and he will be a chastising hand to all impious persons.
Yeah. So first is again how he dealt with the people in general. So as I told that previous verse, Matruvat Pardarashi Pardaveshiloshtavat. Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu. So he will deal with others as if the way he wants to be dealt by others. Right? Dehinam Atmavat Prishtaha. So king will consider all living being and dear as his own self. So how you deal with them then? The way you want to be dealt with. So you deal with them. So it's a very important principle of personal interaction. Otherwise, there is tit for tat. So tit for tat is not a Vaishnava philosophy at all. Vaishnava philosophy is Atmavat Sarvabhuta. That if someone does wrong to us, we don't do wrong to him. That is not the way Vaishnava is. Rather, he will deal in a different way. There is tiraskita, vipralabdha, shatta, shatta, hata api, na asya tat pratikurvant, tad bhakto prabhavopi. So many examples. So Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu. So when we think while dealing this, so we can be careful. So I'm telling myself also. So it's not very easy to apply because there is a tendency to react, right? Not respond. Because this is the education. So it's very important. The Prabhupada is writing that only. So not just humans, 84 lakhs is Prabhupada is telling. All these were treated by the king, the way he would treat himself. So we have examples of history, King Shibi and all that. So Devatas came and so they were that cadre, that caliber. So what is current scenario is opposite. Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu is not the practice, but what is the practice? In this age, however, so-called kings and presidents do not treat all the living entities as their own self. Most of them are meat eaters, and even though they may not be meat eaters, may pose themselves to be very religious and pious, they still allow cow slaughter within their state. So such sinful heads of state cannot actually be popular at any time. So another significant word is Mukta Sangha Prasanga. So this is a very important thing. That king is very eager to meet with those who are Mukta Sangha, the great sages, the pure devotees. So always associating with liberated people. Prasanga means Prakrushta Rupena Sangha. Very intimate association of heart to heart, Guhya Makhyadi Puchhati type of relationship with liberated souls. Mukta Sangha Prasangascha. So he was intimately connected with them. That's why he was able to do this. So that's what is his quality. So we have to grow from what is the Dehatma Buddhi is Atmavan Manyate Jagat, as I told you. The way we are, the way we see the world also like that. The world is our mirror of our consciousness. So that is the lower consciousness. Higher is Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu, because he is seeing on spiritual platform. So that is that verse. Now 19th verse. Ayam tu sakshat Bhagavan Stradhisha Utastha Atma Kalayavatirna Yasminna Vidya Jachitam Nirarthakam Pashyanti Nanattvamapi Pratitam. Yes. Someone else can read. I think you read.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
This king is a master of three worlds and he is directly empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is without change and he is the incarnation of the Supreme known as Shakti Avesh Avatar. Being a liberated soul and completely learned, he sees all material varieties as meaningless because their basic principle is science.
So here they are glorifying his quality to be Sakshat Bhagavan. So that is Shaktavishat. Tradhish means he is Lord of three. So Lord of three modes, Lord of three dhams. Tradhish has many meanings. So he is Asamordhva. So that's what Prabhupada says. Maharaj Putu could not be equaled in his excellent qualities. Because he was Shaktavishat. And then Prabhupada elaborates on the meaning of Kutastha. Kutastha is a person who doesn't change his position. Whether the atmosphere, the place changes, he is fully fixed in his. That is Kutastha. Without any change. So that's what Prabhupada elaborates here. The second part of purport. First part is about this thing. Sakshat Bhagavan, But this is, so there are two kinds of living entities, Nitya Siddha and Nitya Baddha. Or rather Nitya Mukta and Nitya Baddha. So Nitya Mukta, see here the word is used, Pashyanti Nanatvam api Pratitam. Yasmin Avidya Rachitam Nirarthakam Pashyanti Nanatvam api Pratitam. So these two lines are very important. So what is told here is, you can read from here. Please read from this portion.
Yes, bro. Such a Nitya Mukta living entity represents the super soul as its expansion.
Down also.
Yeah. Such, as stated in Vedas, Nityo Nityanam, thus the Nitya Mukta living entity knows that he is an expansion of the Supreme Nitya or the eternal Supreme Personal Godhead. Being in such a position, he sees the material world with a different vision. The living entity who is Nitya Baddha or eternally conditioned sees the material varieties as being actually different from one another. In this connection, we should remember that the embodiment of the conditioned soul is considered to be like a dress. One may dress in different ways, but a really learned man does not take dress into consideration, as stated in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, that's it. So basically, the Pashyati, so the visions are different. Now, see who can write this. So Srila Prabhupada is Nitya Siddha. So he knows how Nitya Siddha has vision. Okay? And what is the vision of the or Nitya Siddha or Nitya Mukta. So he will never forget for a moment his connection with Krishna and service to Krishna. Prabhupada said, I never forgot Krishna for a moment in childhood. This is Nitya Siddha. Krishna told you just go and write books and come back. So he is able to very clearly depict the difference. That who is Nitya Mukta, he is Nitya Baddha. And what is the difference? The vision. Since they represent super soul, so they can easily see this material world belonging to the Supreme Lord. So there is no exploitative mentality. Whereas the other, the one who is not Nitya Mukta but Nitya Bhagda, he sees so much of variety in this world and gets affected by the variety. So it's not that Nitya Mukta doesn't see variety. He does see the variety, but he sees in a truth the variety. Its temporariness, its shallowness, it's what is the glitter and glamour, it's skin deep, or whatever in the material world, all that glitters is not gold. So that's what he sees. He has a different vision, whereas Nitya Baddha has a different vision, right? So that is the sensuous gaze of this material world is not there. But he is seeing in connection to Krishna as energy of Krishna or Krishna, both. So that's why Prabhupada is quoting what should be the vision of a person who is practicing and going ahead. So as soon as one acquires knowledge, natural symptom of it is humility, vidya, vinaya, sampanna. And then he sees Brahmana and cow and elephant and dog with equal vision, Pandita, Samadarshana, and even Chandala also. Because he knows and he is realized in that. The second part, Prabhupada is writing that he knows very well. So when he sees variety in this world, so what he does is, he knows very well that varieties of dress are the creation of mistakes. Avidya rachitam. Yasmin avidya rachitam. So one thing is it is creation of avidya. And second thing is it is nirarthakam. So he is able to see very clearly. Pashyanti. Although there is varieties of sense objects, he is able to understand the futility of touching them or accepting them. He may take as much as body has to be maintained, but he is not getting affected by that. So that's what the vision is different. So dealing is different and interaction is different. So pashyati word is used. So Bhagavatam elsewhere also says something similar. When 11th canto is defining the three levels of devotees, Uttama, Madhyama and Kanishta Bhakta. So there it is told that Kanishta sees deity like only he sees the deity as Lord, but he cannot see the bhaktas and the Lord's realization in their heart. So one has to see and respect as it behooves. More one is Krishna realized, more he deserves respect. So that's what he sees and he does. However, so what I was telling, yeah. So there is nice verse. which says, what is that? Yeah, Gruhitva api indriya artha yome dveshti na rishyati. Vishnor mayamidam pashyan savai bhagavatottama. So he may accept sense objects, but how he sees them, it's all Vishnu Maya. Vishnu Maya. Idam pashyan savai bhagavatottama. So this is the cultivation as well, right? So that's what is being said. How he deals with the material variety. He doesn't reject material variety, but doesn't get victimized by material variety. So that's what Prithu was. Yeah. So Kutastha. So Kutastha means he did not change his spiritual position. Consequently, there was no possibility of his viewing the material world as a reality. So he didn't see like that. Although he was doing his duty, right? Text 20. Ayam bhuvo mandalamo dayadri goptaikaviro naradevanatha asthaya jaitram rathama paryasyate dakshinato yatharkah.
This king, being uniquely powerful and heroic, will have no competitor. He will travel around the globe on his victorious chariot, holding his inconceivable bow in his hand and appearing like the sun, which rotates in its own orbit from the south.
Yeah. So sun is rotating in his orbit, right? So this is first punch by Prabhupada to the scientists. So Prabhupada writes, the conclusion is that the sun is not fixed in one place. So Prabhupada, as soon as he gets chance to punch the Mayavadis and this atheistic scientist, he will do it in his purport. Because current day the scientists are like praised. Whatever they say, people accept. Prabhupada punches them directly. So sun has, so fifth canto explains all the sun's orbits and everything. So Prabhupada quotes all that in the purport. So one has to know, the conclusion is that sun is not fixed at one place. So similarly, Prithu Maharaj was also having power all over the world. So from Udayachal, Udayadri to the other side. And then he quotes about Naradeva Natha. So Naradeva, so king is the demigod among the Naras. Why? Because he is representing the Lord. So when Sanatan Goswami had lied to the king, Nawab Hussain Shah, that I am sick, so I will on leave. He was reading Bhagavatam with Brahmanas. At that time, the king came. So the king was Mlecha and Yavan actually. He was completely cruel and sinful. But still they respected the king. They got up. Why? Because they deserve that respect. Right? Of course, he didn't obey him, right? So that also has to be understood. But respect has to be given as it behooves. So Prabhupada is quoting that one line only, although he was Mohammedan. A king or governmental head must therefore be so competent to rule the state that the citizens will worship him as God in human form. That is the perfectional stage for the head of any government. So that is his power. Text 21. Asmai nripalaah kila tatra tatra balim harishanti salokapalaah masyanta esham striya adirajam Chakrayudham tadyasha uddharantyah.
When the king travels all over the world, other kings as well as the demigods will offer him all kinds of presentations. Their queens will also consider him the original king, who carries in his hands the emblems of love and bliss, and will sing share of his fame. For he will be so he will be reputable as the supreme personality of Godhead.
So now his power is further explained. Wherever he is going, Balim Harishyanti Salokapa. So demigods will offer him all kinds of presentation. Because he is not just a king, right? He is Shaktaveshavatar. And Adi Raja is the word. So original king. He is the original king. Adi Raja. So that's what. So he will sing of his fame, all the queens, because he is reputable as the Supreme Lord almost. So Prabhupada speaks about his reputation. So Prithu, the meaning of the word Prithu only is one who is reputed. One who has reputation. So Prabhupada is writing that only here. Adi Rajam, original king. As mentioned in this verse, Tasya Yashah, Prithu Maharaj was actually carrying within him the reputation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he was actually reigning over the world in that capacity. So that was, so we'll see in next few verses, the activities will be predicted. So how he has instrumental in making great arrangements for everyone practically. So 20, I think, yeah, 22 onwards, his specific activities are told. Right now, his qualities and his influence, like demigods and all, Indra, Chandra, and Vayu, Arka, Varuna, and Agni, so on. Now, from 22 towards the end of the chapter, it is going to give us the seed of the remaining chapters of this Prithu Maharaj section. So he milking the earth, he meeting the four Kumaras, his horse will be stolen by Indra, and so on. So many things are kind of predicted here by the bards. Ayam mahim gam duduhe dhirajah प्रजापतिर्वृतिकरः प्रजानां यो लीलयाद्रिं स्वरशासकोट्या भिन्दन् समां गामकरोद्धतेन्द्रः. Yes, Prabhu.
Someone else can read, I think.
Yes, Prabhu. Someone else can read, please. Yeah, not read. Yes, Suryakant Krishna Prabhu. Possible or Parmeshwari Mataji, possible to read? You can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mata.
Hare Krishna.
Audible.
This king, this protector of the citizens, is an extraordinary king and is equal to the Prajapati demigods for the living facility of all citizens. He will milk the earth, which is like a cow. Now only that, but he will level the surface of the earth with the pointed ends of his bow. Sorry, breaking on the hills exactly as King Indra, the heavenly king, break mountain with his powerful thunderbolt. Hare Krishna.
So he made some land flat for proper in him.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Yes, Mata. Who is saying? Yes, it was audible, Mataji. Thank you. So what I was saying, that he made the land flat for
Hare
sake people can stay properly in some places, right? And he had that power like Indra. So Indra used to use thunderbolt and the mountain will crush the powder. Right? So that's what example is given. Gama karo yathendraha vindan samam. Leelaya, effortlessly he will do. Swarashasa kotya, very powerful thunderbolt. You will break them and make the earth flat. So this is one thing which he did. And second is milking the earth like a cow. So that's how he'll protect the citizens. Yeah, now next verse. So how did woman glorify Prithu? 4 verses answer. Thus the verses are in the past tense. So it seems they are glorifying how woman glorify. So it is, they are in past tense kind of thing. Just as Indra broke mountains with the tip of his plow, Prithu will milk the earth. So 23. So next 4 verses, that is the end of the chapter. विस्फूर्जयन्नाजगवं धनुस्वयं यदा चरत्स्मा विषम्यमाजौ तदा निलिल्ये दृश्यसन्तु नाङ्गूलमुद्दम् उद्यम्य यथा मृगेन्द्रः. Yes, Mataji, continue. Parmeshwari Mataji, can you continue? Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, you can continue. Reading another few verses, Parmeshwari Mataji. Okay, nice. Someone else can read? Maybe. Ram Kishore Prabhu, you can read or possible? Or maybe Sachin Prabhu or Suryakant Krishna Prabhu can read.
Yes.
Yes,
Sachin Prabhu is traveling, okay, no problem. Yes,
no, Bhoj,
Suryakant
I
Krishna.
can read. When the lion travels in the forest with his tail turned upward, all men and animals hide themselves. Similarly, when King Pruthu will travel over his kingdom and vibrate the string of his bow, which is made of the horns of goats and bulls, and irresistible in battle, all the demonic rogues and thieves will hide themselves in all directions.
Yeah, so that was his chivalry and power, like a lion. So lion is going with tail raised and all animals will flee. Like that, Pruthu was power. When he travel and just a lion creates found, he will just twang the bow, vibrate his bow, and that only will make people fear. So they will, especially who will be fearful? He is glorified as Ranjayati also. So not people who are following dharma, but those who are thieves and rogues, demoniac, they will flee. They cannot exist in his presence. So Prabhupada writes, unless the rogues and thieves and other demoniac people in the state are afraid of the executive head, who rules the kingdom with the strong hand, there cannot be peace and prosperity in the state. Thus, it is more regrettable when a woman becomes an executive head instead of lion-like king. In such a situation, people are considered very unfortunate. So actually, by nature, the man and woman has a particular functionality and nature, right? So for administration and such protection, the king has to be male actually. That's what Prabhupada is saying very clearly. It's most regrettable. So it's not about, it is not criticizing the other gender, but it is telling that this is appropriate for only men, not women. But women can do something which men cannot do. So if they do, that is regrettable. So that's all is to be seen. Just as yesterday I gave that example of Sauranga, no? The person who will have some character flaw with opposite sex, the Shivaji Maharaj will cut his legs and hands. So one punishment like that, others fear. Right? So it is not to harm that person, but to protect others. So that's why it is to be done. Eshovashvamedhanja shatamajahara saraswati padurabhavi yatra aharshidasya medham purandara shatakratushcharame vartamani. Yes, continue.
At the source of the river Saraswati, this king will perform 100 sacrifices known as Ashwamedha. In the course of the last sacrifice, the heavenly king Indra will steal the sacrificial horse.
Yeah. So as I told, they're predicting the future incidences. Isha Swasadmo Pavane Sametya Sanatkumaram Bhagavantamekam Aradhya Bhaktya Labata Malam Tach Jnanam Yato Brahma Param Vidanti. Yeah, continue. Bro.
This king Puthu will meet Sanat Kumara, one of the four Kumaras in the garden of his palace compound. The king will worship him with devotion and will be fortunate to receive instructions by which one can enjoy transcendental bliss.
Yeah. So he will be meeting Kumaras also. And then although he is Bhagwantam, right? He is the Supreme Lord. Still, when Sanat Kumar comes, or four Kumaras come actually, so he shows by example that sages should be welcomed very nicely. And the most important thing is to hear from them and get instructions from them. And that will lead to bliss by executing those instructions. So that is the whole point of this verse, that the king will worship Sanat Kumar with devotion, not formality. Actually, it is said that he got up when he saw Kumaras. He was actually addressing the entire Praja. Can you imagine? And that is the time four Kumaras come as a king. So four Kumaras come. So he bows down and runs to them like a conditioned soul. When he sees sense object, he gets up. That kind of eagerness was there shown by him. So Vidanti. So Yatha Param Vidanti, right? Jnanam Yato Brahma Param Vidanti. So Prabhupada comments on this word. Vidanti means they enjoy or they know, both words. So he knows right things and does right things. Why? Because he is guided properly. So Vidanti refers to one who knows something or enjoys something. Both is there. So he was like that. And he showed by his own example how to deal with sages. So Prabhupada says, although King Prithu was incarnation of Vishnu, he nonetheless taught the people in general in his kingdom to take instructions from the spiritual master who represent disciplic succession. So that is what is told here. Vidanti word is being elaborated. Text 26. Tatra tatra girastata iti vishyuta vikramaha shoshatyatmashrita gatha pruthu pruthu parakramaha. Yes,
In this way, when the chivalrous activities of King Prithu come to be known to the public in general, King Prithu will always hear about himself and his uniquely powerful activities.
Yeah. So when he will travel, he will hear his glories also in future also. Now also he has not done anything. He is hearing. In future, after doing also, he will hear. So Atma Ashita means stories told by their own skills.
Hmm?
So here in the purport, Prabhupada writes about reputation.
होत नाही तुझं झालं तुझं झाली करो अजून एक राहिलं
Here Prabhupada writes a very important purport. Yeah, please read this purport, small purport.
To artificially advertise oneself and thus enjoy his so-called reputation is kind of conceit. Prithu Maharaj was famous among the people because of his chivalrous activities. He did not have to advertise himself artificially. One's factual reputation cannot be covered.
Yeah. So see, nowadays by the social media, this is what is happening. Artificially advertising it. So it's a conceit means what? Pride in oneself, excessive pride in oneself. That is conceit. An elaborate meta of fanciful notion. So it's a pride, artificially advertise oneself. So it's a very thin line actually, because of the sake of preaching Krishna consciousness. Many people are there online, right? And there are so many followers and so many likes. And most of the people tell whatever they make, some will cook some item, some will speak something, someone will teach something, and they will say like, share, and what is that? Three things are there. No? So they do that, right? Everywhere. So that is for oneself. So we have to be very careful actually why I am doing what I am doing. And even if we are preaching So we should be done under instruction, and we should be careful not to be so much affected by the numbers. So this all artificial. Prithu Maharaj is famous amongst people because of his childless activities. He did not have to advertise himself artificially. One's factual reputation cannot be covered. Means what? Factual reputation means that reputation which is awarded by Lord through the Vaishnavas. So that is real reputation. And that comes by practice of pure devotional service. And there is no other desire. So that is factual reputation. So what it means? All artificially acquired reputation is not factual, right? So you should be very careful. Because in this world, the greatest thing to give up is pratishtha. And generally it has to be dealt in advanced stages, or person starts getting respect. He becomes very gentle, humble, and attractive to everyone. So this puja, la, pratishtha keeps on coming. So we have to be very careful actually, that what we are doing, for what purpose we are doing. So this reputation, and for sake of maintaining artificial reputation, people do so many things nowadays. Pompous ceremonies. So actually there is one very beautiful verse in Brahmaji's prayer, which is quite fitting. Yesterday I discussed it. So this is 3.9. So Brahmaji is praying to the Supreme Lord, seeing some practitioners of devotional service, but their desires are mixed. Na ati prasidati, like that he says. Yeah, I'm just opening. Very beautiful verse. Oh, it is coming before that. This is 3, 9, 12. Showing. Beautiful prayers by our super founder Acharya. Natit prasidati tathopachitopacharai आराधितः सुरगणैर्हृदिबद्धकामैः यत्सर्वभूतदयया सदलभ्यैको नानाजनेष्व अवहितः सुहृदन्तरात्मा. Yeah, please read the translation. My Lord.
My Lord, you are not very much satisfied by the worship of the demigods, who arrange for your worship very pompously, with various paraphernalias, but who are full of material hankerings. You are situated in everyone's heart as a super soul, just to show your causeless mercy, and you are the eternal well-wisher, but you are unavailable for the non-devotee.
Yeah. So here very clearly Brahmaji is telling that Lord is not satisfied with people who show off, but there are ulterior agendas and motivation. Externally they will show big things, which they are doing or whatever. No, Lord is not pleased with them so much. So you can see this very nice purport also. And who Lord is pleased? That is Tam Bhakti Yoga Paribhavitarit Saroja Aseshu Tekshita Patho Nananatha Punsam Yadyadhyat Urugaya Vibhavayanti Tattadvapuh Pranayase Sadanugrahaya. So this is the Lord manifesting different forms according to desire of a particular pure devotee. That form he manifests with great love. So Lord is very pleased with these people. Who are these people? Whose heart is fully blossomed with pure bhakti. Bhakti yoga paribhavita. and it has become like lotus, soft like lotus. How? By, see, so their heart is soft, so they are hearing
Lotus
the
kind for
Shrutis and seeing the Supreme Lord. Shutek
yeah.
Shitapatho. And you come and sit in their hearts. Means what? Lord is pleased with them, right? So, Tomara Hridaye Sada Govinda Vishrama Govinda Kohe Namara Vaishnava Parana. So that is the case. They are not after this reputation. As we know, na, there is Pratishtha Nari Sada Kuvari. Means what? Those who want Pratishtha, they run behind Pratishtha. But Pratishtha runs behind the pure devotees, like Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri will never look at her because he is eager to serve and please Krishna. So that is factual Pratishtha. So it's the entire song written on reputation by Dushtaman Tumi Kisera Vaishna. Pratisthara Tare Nirjanera Ghare, etc. So there is so many verses about this, that Vaishnava Pratishtha Tate Karo Nishtha. So here Prabhupada writing a factual reputation is different. It can never be covered. But so-called reputation which is done, any service which we are doing, this feeling has to be checked. Am I here to impress someone, or I am here to please Krishna and the object of my service, and the Vaishnava or Guru? That should be the goal, not anything else, not for anyone else in that sense. Pleasure of object of worship and object of service and Krishna. So now last verse. Diso vijitya pratiruddha chakraha स्वतेजसोत्पाटितलोकशल्यः सुरासुरेन्द्रियोपगीयमान महानुभावो भवितापतिर्भुवः. Please read translation last verse.
No one will be able to disobey the orders of Prithu Maharaj. After conquering the world, he'll be completely eradicate the threefold miseries of the citizens. Then he will be recognized all over the world. At that time, both the Suras and Asuras will undoubtedly glorify his magnanimous activities.
Yeah. So now further last activity is mentioned here. Right? So that is what he is going to do. So he will actually, like Rama Rajya, these things were not there. So Prithu also is mentioned like that. He eradicated three old miseries from people. And both Suras and Asuras will glorify his activities. So right now he has appeared. In future, after doing also, he will be glorified. So Prabhupada elaborates these things about Prithu Maharaj. So he says that how he was Chakravarti Samrat. So no one will disobey means what? He was Chakravarti Samrat. So that's what Prabhupada writes. You can see in the purport. How come purport is not present? Anyway, this is something. At the time of Maharaj Prithu, who was ruled by one emperor, world was ruled. Although there were many subordinate states like Yudhishthir Maharaj time also. Right? So as soon as there were some discrepancies in the maintenance of Varnashram system, the emperor would, first paragraph I'm reading, last part. The emperor would immediately take charge of the small states. So see, that's why the same thing again, Varnashrama thing is being told here. So because that is Krishna's system of governance and proper engagements and occupations of different people, interdependent, respectful, non-envious society. So when Krishna Prabhupada named our society, it is not international institution for Krishna consciousness. It is not just set of hierarchy where these things are instituted. No, administration is done in a society. So society means Varnashram society. So that's how Prabhupada is telling you. And then Utpadita Loka Shalya is completely uprooted all the miseries of citizens. So It is stated that during the reign of Yudhishthir Maharaj, there did not even exist severe cold, scorching heat, nor did citizens suffer from any kind of mental anxiety. This is the standard of good governance. Can you imagine how many people are healthy? That is the standard of good government. So, actually, because everything is interconnected, actually Vedic society means the entire 14 worlds, the devatas, the earth, the cows, the different people in Varnashram, they are all interdependent, interconnected. And when they all do their duties according to the Lord, then people naturally be prosperous, peaceful, and healthy. So that is the sign of good government. So one may say that what we can do in Kali Yuga? No, we can do whatever we can, because this establishment of Varnashram system is not one person's capacity. It's a society. It's a collective endeavor by community. It is not just one leader's open one's preaching program and he becomes successful. This Varnashram system is not like as easy like it has to be involving all the leaders within the society together. It's not a one person job. It's a community job. And when we execute it, then the society can function in a way, in a very dharmic way, in an organic way, in a very healthy way, in a very spiritual way, in a very progressive way, and in a very perfect way where all the people are walking back to God. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. This is a thus the inhabitants of both saintly and demoniac planets were all engaged in glorifying activities of Maharaj Prithvi. So Sura and Asuras also, persons or nations anxious to spread the influence all over the world should consider this point. So Prabhupada is appealing to them. So anyone who wants to spread their influence, so in previously so many people like British spread influence, Mughal spread influence, England people spread influence. So they want to anxious to spread influence. Okay, you study Bhagavatam and consider this point. If one is able to eradicate completely the threefold miseries of citizens, he should aspire to rule the world. One should not aspire to rule for any political or diplomatic consideration. So that is what is a true Kshatriya. So that's how this chapter ends. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of fourth canto, 16th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Praise of King Prithu by the Professional Reciters. So we still have time, so we will take few verses from the next chapter, and maybe if you have any questions and clarifications or some comments or whatever, in case any correction also, you can express. So we have around 20-25 minutes. Anyone has anything what we discussed today till now? Anything you want to express about the discussion? So 17th chapter we'll see then. So 17th chapter is entitled Maharaj Prithu becomes angry at earth. So the summary is like this. In the 17th chapter, when starving people begged him for food, Prithu catches the earth, who had seized everything, and in fight the earth praises Prithu. In fear, not fight. She was running, she was caught, and she became fearful. When she realized, hey, he is not just an ordinary king, he is the Supreme Lord Shaktivesh Avatar only. So this is fright. So she became fearful, and then she understood that he is Supreme Lord. So she started praising Prithuma. So that is what is the essence of this chapter. I'm just sharing the screen. Yeah. Yeah, Maharaj Prithu becomes angry at Earth. Text 1. Maitreya Uvacha Evam sa Bhagavan Vainyah Khyapito Guna Karmabhi Chandayamasa Tan Kamaihi Patipujya Abhinandya. Yeah, someone else can read now. Those maybe Mataji can read. Prabhuji read now.
Hare Krishna. The great sage Maitreya continued. In this way, the reciters who were glorifying Maharaja Prithu readily described his qualities and chivalrous, chivalrous activities. At the end, Maharaj Prithu offered them various presentations with all due respect and worshipped them adequately.
Yeah. So this is reciprocation in a cultured way. So he heard what they spoke, birds, and then he worshipped Pratipujya, Abhinandya. So this is reciprocation actually. So this same word is coming in the first canto also. Pratipujya Vachastesham Pravakram Upachakrami. So Sut Goswami, upon hearing the questions by the sages, he was very pleased by their inquiries, the 6 questions. So he offered them respect. Pratipuja means practically, see, anyone is inquiring from anyone, that shows that level of respect which is offering to him, right? The moment you ask, anyone asks question means what? You take a humble role to know. So that is a sign of respect which is offered by the inquirer to the speaker. But or here the glorifier to glorified. So when speaker or the glorified person receives it, what is the culture? Pratipujya vachastesha. So appropriately he reciprocates by offering respect and recognition, worship, etc. depending on how it behooves. So here Prithu Maharaj is doing that. And he did give them gifts also. Abhinandya, offering prayers, Pratipujya, offering all respect, so that, and Ashatan Kamaihi, various Kamaihi means he gave gifts also. Dadati Pratigrannath. So king gave gifts to them. Adequately he worshipped. So very nicely Prabhupada is translating. With all due respect and worship, then adequate. Adequate means as it behooves. Not more, not less. So that is what is there here in this verse. So it is just kind of giving the reciprocation of the king. Text 2. Brahmana pramukhan varnan pratyamatya purodhasaha pauranjana padan shrenihi prakritim samapojayat.
King Prithu thus satisfied and offered all respect to all the leaders of the Brahmanas and other castes, to his servants, to his ministers, and to the priests, citizens, general countrymen, people from other communities, admirers, and others, and thus they all became happy.
Yeah. So Brahmana pramukhan varan Bhritya Atmaha Purodhasa. So he satisfied and respect all the leader of the Brahmana. So not just Brahmana, the leaders of Brahmanas are more respectful. Has to be offered more respect, right? So it deserves, they really deserve more respect. So he offered that, and others also. Puran Janapadan Shreni Prakriti Samapuja Samyak Rupena Pujayat. Give proper respect according to how it behooves. So Shreni refers to sellers of oil and betel nut and others. So they are very small, humble people. So betel nut sellers and oil sellers. He offered respect to them also. Prakriti means employed. So he respected. Amanena manadena. Saying sweetly. How he respected? Blessing to you. If I protect you, I will be serving you. So this is the mood of him. So protect means I will do my service. Text 3. Vidura. So now Vidura is asking question after hearing all that. Kasmadadhara go rupam dharitri bahurupini yadudoha pruthustatra o vatso dohanam chakim. Please read.
Vidura inquired from the great sage Maitreya, "My dear Brahmana, since Mother Earth can appear in different shapes, why did she take the shape of a cow? And when King Prithu milked her, who became the calf and what was the milking pot?"
Yeah, so Vidura is very attentively hearing, right? So now he has heard about Prithu Maharaja's activities. Now he is specifically asking more details about each. So this very chapter, the seed question is there in this verse. That Mother Earth can appear in so many ways. Why she appeared as cow, and why Prithu has to attack her, and then how he milked. What was the milking pot? So that reveals lot of principles that how we can get prosperity in right way by right items by milking the earth, and how one can get wrong items by milking in a different revealed by this wonderful inquiry. So this is after hearing this 22nd verse actually. Aho mahigam dudoha dhirajaha prajapatir vritikaraha prajam. Right. So this too. So he's asking more details. Vidura. Ko vatsa dohanam chaki. Text 4. Prakrutya vishama devi kritatena samakatham tasya medhyam hayam vedevah kasya heto.
I think Prabhuji is not there.
He is there, maybe some range issue because he is in Vella, he said in initial part. So maybe range issue somewhere.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Something happened with internet. Am I audible now again?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Okay. Yeah. So, did you read the translation?
Screen is not sharing, Prabhuji.
Yeah. I lost the connection somehow. Yeah. So yes, I just explain. You have to read the. Yeah, I read the verse. Just read the translation. 4th verse. It is visible.
Not yet, Prabhuji.
Not yet. What about others? I appear to have shared the screen here. What you are able to see anything? Means some material?
No, Prabhuji. Not visible.
No one is. Okay. Here it is showing sharing. Okay, I will just do it again. Yeah, now is it visible? Visible,
No,
right?
Prabhuji. No.
Anyone is able to see, or he can read from his book if anyone has.
Yeah.
Don't know what is the problem. Because here for me it is showing share.
Hare Krishna devotees. Yeah, just got a call from Samarpan Prabhu that there is some problem for internet there, and it will take some time, to restore that. So I think it's only like 10 minutes remaining here, so we'll pause here right now, and we will start again next week.
Okay.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hare
Done.
Krishna devotees.
Done.
Hare Krishna.